Hello. Another happy Monday. And greetings from Samahita. So let's get into practice. And as I keep highlighting, the yogic approach, the meditative approach, covers numerous techniques. And in reality, you will end up doing a few of them, both in your own sitting practice, your own practice time, and as years go by. So here we go. Let's do a few things. So have your seat ready. I'm just in simple cross-legged, up on a blanket, on a cushion. See? Take one of your hands and just tune in on the upper abdomen. Go down to the navel. Get the lower abdomen, push it in a bit and lift your spine up. Relax your shoulders. Relax your mouth. Now, we're going to do a little bit of 2 rounds of the pumping. Okay? Kapalabhati, in other words. So relax. Relax. You have let the upper abdomen, navel, and even lower abdomen go. Okay? Now, first round up to 30 pumps, easy, smooth pace. In your mouth. A little control on the pelvic floor. Do not actively breathe in, okay? Instead it's just a little sip, and you begin. Last one there, 30 into a longer exhale. And then we keep things controlled for the inhale, so I have the pelvic floor held, have the lower abdomen in place. And the inhale expands, and it really starts a little movement of the upper abdomen, definite expansion of the side ribs, and rising up into the chest. Then as you exhale, you just let that release. So we're going to do one more round together. This time we'll have a hold after it, so an external retention. And of course, if that's too much, not comfortable for you, or other reasons, then don't do it. But I'm going to do up to 50 pumps, and you can of course do less. Okay? So, check your posture. Because of the pumping, you let go of the navel and the lower abdomen, because that's what's going to get used. See? Be like me releasing it, so then I can engage it. Okay? Little sip of breath. And together. Into a longer exhale. Probably going about 2/3 of the way exhale, then you pause, close the nose, lift your heart, tilt the chin, not full of Jalandhar, just about 2/3 of the way, and maintain this environment. Now when you're ready, just lift your head, release your hand. Have a healthy, good inhale. So in any of these practices, you never want to get hungry for air, sense of suffocation. So you wouldn't want to come out like that. You could come up poised. Now, of course, it might challenge you a bit, right? But not to the point where it stresses you beyond the benefit. Okay? So now we jump straight into quad ratio breath, and we'll follow it by the okay, the Brahmari. So straight into quad ratio. Okay, that means the 4 parts. So start with an exhale. Now you're going to manage the lower abdomen because we're in a controlled breathing environment. See, lower abdomen, navel, back. There at the end of the exhale, I hold the pelvic floor. Inhale through both nostrils. 1, 2, 3, and just pause. 1, 2, 3. Exhale for double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pause out. 1, 2, 3. Now, pelvic floor held. Another round. Inhale through both nostrils. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Double exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause out. 1, 2, 3. We're ready for round 3. I won't count anymore. Inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause, held out. Pelvic floor held. A little control in the lower abdomen. Inhale. Pause, so the lower abdomen to navel are firm in, above it is nicely expanded. Start the exhale. The exhale is initially a kind of a release, relax. Cross the chest, and then eventually completing the exhale with the lower abdomen. Pause, hold it out. Keep the pelvic floor, lower abdomen in place without stress in the upper abdomen. Keep all that. Inhale, and you start to expand. Fill up above the navel. Pause. Double exhale. Pause it out. Hold the base, pelvic floor. Inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause. Holding in the base of the body. Inhale. You can have the sound. That's okay. So it's a simple ujjayi. Pause. Double exhale also with the sound. You can say fall under Ujjayi Pranayama, but in the simplified introductory level. Learning the sound without manipulating nostrils. Pause, keep it out. Base held, inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause out. One more round of this together. Holding the base. Inhale. Pause. Double exhale. Pause. Now we go straight into 11 of the Brahmari. So just inhale normal through the nose. And then your exhale, which is still double. goes on your own. Make sure the vibration comes from above the soft palate, nasopharyngeal, back there. It's different to Om. Having completed these, you watch the space inside. So if you're able to do those and get absorbed into the doing of it with the sound, it's a very good method to leave the world behind. Get in. If you're doing that and it causes you to just have space, emptiness, nothing, then be there. It's not that you would want to break that empty space to do the next round. But if that empty space gets disturbed, excuse me, by thoughts back to normality, back to the world, then on you go. Back in. And you need a few rounds, that's why minimum is sort of 11, to get really to have an effect. It can also be something you do at night time for sleep time. That'll calm down busyness in the mind, ideally aid your falling asleep, and hopefully if you continue it, it'll aid you staying asleep And even further, it'll aid the quality, the depth of your sleep. And the idea of an overall practice is to impact your internal functioning, that's psychophysiology, so that sleep is a beneficial event, digestion works well, heart functioning happily, normally, elimination there. And as it's a bit of a process to get to, it's been emphasized in these older teachings, texts. So when we speak of Nadi Shodhana, we talk about eventually an optimal functioning of the autonomic system. So the majority of non-infectious issues today come from this sort of metabolic disorder, this autonomic malfunction. And when you really analyze these yogic practices, and especially these hatha yogic practices, they emphasize and aid metabolic flexibility, metabolic efficiency. So details of that can come at another time, and we can ask questions on it, but on a very simple level, the point here is keep up practice. Now when we go into this energetic side, which is the next part of our practice today, right now, it is less of an impact than the previous, say, hatha techniques on the physiological and metabolic. But it does aid the psychological, and of course has a definite spiritual purpose. And in increased aid of the psychological, it can pay off downstream on the physiological metabolic aspects. However, much more direct and impactful, especially for the first 10 to 15 years of regular practice, is to keep up and do the different yogic meditative techniques prescribed by Hatha Yoga. And that includes how you manage your body, how you work with the breath, how you keep body, you can say, regulated, cleaned, functioning well. Then you come back in and you embrace the subtle side, the energetic side, the psychological. So now, go deeper in, come to the more or less central channel between the perineum region, between the anus genital and up to the crown of the head. Tap in there to a central clear shaft channel, which eventually becomes clear, and then you realize that's all you are, which is nothing, empty, pure light. So in this process you connect with that area. You might imagine the open space light, till one day that becomes reality. Now, if you go just above the head and just below the pelvic floor, and then loop around out the head through the pelvic floor, loop, moving to the right to 90 degrees, continue moving and looping 180 degrees, so now you're going the back of your spine. Continue looping and moving. And you by your left arm at 270 degrees. Continue moving and looping. Till your back to front. And then let all that activity transform into like an egg shape protector. That is around what you identify as your physical body. And you're within that shape. And then put all your attention within that shape, but to the right side of the central channel. So you feel it dominate the right side of your physical body. And then move and put all your, say, focus and energy in that sense to the left side. And you will feel like a force or a weight fill up the left side. You feel it through the arms and hands. And if there's any imbalances between the sides, so now you do a move from the left into the right. You do a move from the right into the left. And you get a harmonious balance between the sides, left, right, that are interconnected through more of like a butterfly loop, figure of 8 infinity loop. And you bring your attention to the pelvic floor. So of course you can identify a point that's in front of the anus, behind the genital point, but you know, it goes up a little bit, so sort of above the pelvic floor muscles, or in the vaginal wall zone for woman. You might be able to mildly tap it, contract it, and take a look. Does it have an effect up into the base of the skull, soft palate? How are they connected? So now you're at that center point that you're able to kind of tap and contract, but really build the circular force around it, spin it. And then we'll move up with a bit of pace to it, up to the pubic to sacral region, spin. Up to the navel, feel the center of the navel, and build a spin around it. Now take in these 3. So you loop back to the pelvic floor, up through the pubic to the navel, and do loop that way. Out, up, out, up, out, up, out, up, out, up. Then all 3 spin, vibrate. And make your way up now to the heart center, connecting the heart center. Spin, vibrate around it. Move up to the throat. Spin, vibrate at the throat. Pass through the mouth, through the soft palate, just above the soft palate, below the base of the skull, pituitary. Oh, that's between the upper corner of the ears, between the nerve crossings of the eyes, back of the nose. Concentrated spin. Just above it, you pass beyond the bone in a way that separates the brain, base of the skull in a sense, from the other parts of the head, face. And suddenly you're at the floor of the brain, hypothalamus, focused, concentrated spin. And then just a little bit above and back. Maybe you get the pineal. You can stay in this zone for longer, as per your own capacity and time. And whenever you feel ready to come out, you just let it sort of sink down, settle. So a little bit below, coming from the brain. You can always let the hands rub, put them over the eyes. You do that now in your own time, and we will meet again on Friday. So no program on Wednesday, but Friday will be myself with Richard and Mary having a good old chat together. So, till then.